begin with Lacey Wean, Director of Geospatial, UAS Solutions, and Law Enforcement Technology for Carahsoft. I asked her what themes she heard about most from the speakers and the attendees.
So thanks for having me here, first and foremost. I'm excited to be here. It's been a great show so far. Can't believe it's the 20th anniversary of GEOINT.
Yeah.
So it's been a really exciting, vibe and energy around the show floor, a lot of excitement around it. As far as key themes, there's been a lot of talk around the use of AI and machine learning technology in the national intelligence space. Lots of talk around digital twins. We've seen a number of companies talking about their capabilities around digital twins and how that can be used in national intelligence. And then I think one of the interesting key themes I've seen a lot around is just emergency or disaster response. So lots of agencies talking about how they're assisting FEMA or how they're assisting even state and local agencies with responding and preparing and responding to emergency situations.
Yeah, I think that's the surprise to me. I hadn't been to a GEOINT for 3 or 4 years, and that level of collaboration and interoperability is something, we'll hear about it later on in the program, but that's something that I wasn't prepared for, is the discussion among all of these organizations about how they work together with each other.
Yeah, it's been really interesting to see and kind of see especially how that's evolved over the years. The past even 4 or 5 years, we've seen a lot more of that,
Yeah.
and especially at this show, it's an increased presence from a number of other federal agencies. Lots of collaboration on just how they're working together and NGA's role, in what other agencies are doing.
Yeah, throughout the course of the program, we'll meet people from National Reconnaissance Office and a number of other organizations. For a long time, I think this show, at least people thought of it primarily as an NGA conference.
Exactly, yeah, and I think this year, again, a big increased presence from the other intelligence agencies, a big presence across the DoD. Specifically at NRO, we've kind of seen the geospatial space go from what they've called maps to metaverse, but
Yeah.
A lot of that being taken into space. There's a ton of conversations around what's happening in space and what's going to happen, and how that data that's being collected is being used in day-to-day applications.
Another thing that surprised me is looking at the panels and the discussions and so on, a lot of emphasis on workforce. There's a lot of technology emphasis, of course, but a lot of people talking about the people skills that their workforces will need to be able to execute on the AI, the machine learning, the data deluge, and so on.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that as well, especially in some of the panel discussions around workforce and just how agencies are getting their employees certified, getting them trained, making sure that they have the right skill sets to keep up with technology modernization and be able to leverage all of these really awesome new things that we're seeing this week.
You mentioned the theme from maps to metaverse, and that's the theme that the Geospatial Intelligence Foundation has set for this 20th anniversary event. What's the implication for that on kind of the technology vendors that are here that are demonstrating what their capabilities are to help these agencies that we've talked about?
Yeah, it's been really interesting. I think what makes this topic so cool is just, there's been a ton of discussion around, hey, what's happened the last 20 years?
Yeah.
And, how we got from 2D maps and 2D printing into, more of a 3D world now. And seeing all of the technology companies and these vendors just keeping up with that and keeping up with the new capabilities and really how they're integrating so many different data sources. So it's not just the maps anymore, it's not just imagery. There's AI, there's machine learning, there's satellite data, there's tons of sources that are all being integrated together to essentially create this metaverse.
Yeah, we have less than a minute left. Where do you expect this to go? What do you think the next year's or 2 years GEOINT will look like, will focus on?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're kind of seeing a similar trajectory of some of the technology trends, so I think that's going to continue. Again, lots of things around, some of these topics are still new.
Yeah.
Lots of stuff around AI and chat GPT and how that's playing a role in geospatial intelligence. Some of the things around digital twins, it's still, it's been talked about for a couple years, but it's still a fairly new concept that's being put into action now. So I think we're going to continue to see that evolve over the next couple of years and, see an increased presence at these types of events throughout the industry and hopefully more agencies represented here and more partners as well.
Lacey, it's great to talk to you. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's great to talk to you as well.